What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another J-List YouTube video. My name is Jonathan, and in today's video I am so happy to be back. I want to wish all of you guys a happy new year. I know we're very late into the year already. You know, we've covered some ground on the new year already, but I made a post thanking you guys, wishing you guys a happy new year, and I'm doing it again on the first video of the year. So today we're going to be doing a night POV drive of my 2015 Scion TC. It just occurred to me that I've never actually done this, so I haven't shown you guys how the car is to drive at night, what visibility is at night. And you know, I thought I'd make a video about it because that's something a lot of you guys seem to be interested in. So with all that said, let's go straight in. Please excuse my messed up interior, but now that we're inside the car, I have full LEDs everywhere. And as you guys can see, my interior is all messed up because if you look here, this is one color, this is another color. I completely took apart my interior. I'm converting it back to the original color because I'm planning to do other stuff with it. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, as you guys can see, you know, it's not a very big interior. It has a lot of space, but you don't get many features in here. You don't get much to brag about. So I've done plenty of reviews on this car. I've shared plenty of opinions on it, and you guys already know my thoughts about the 2015 Scion TC, the Scion TC interior in general. Now, for those of you guys who aren't aware, I do have some pretty dark tint in my car's 5%. I've done plenty of shorts and reviews about it. You guys can go check those out. So in here, the camera, I just saw the preview on my phone. The camera is actually not picking it up right. It seems the camera is making it seem a little darker than it actually is, but it does get pretty dark in here. Visibility outside is great. The camera is not picking it up good, but I can't see. It's safe for me to drive at night. But yeah, with all that, let's get straight into the drive. Might turn signal and get out. Okay. So getting started. I know I haven't made a video in a very long time. I know, I apologize for it. For those of you guys who aren't aware, I was involved in a car crash December 12th, 2023. The other driver was at fault, and I was dealing with all that stuff. You know, for those of you guys who have gone through a vehicle crash in your life, you know it's extremely painful. It's a super long, complicated process. They make you go, you know, when you're doing the insurance claim, they make you go to a bunch of different shops to get different estimates and so on and so forth. So, but all that's been cleared up. My car still hasn't been fixed, but all that's been cleared up, and it doesn't have massive amounts of damage. It was just a few scratches and some like wheel well damages and stuff, but all that's been cleared up. And that's why it's taking me so long to make a video, because I wanted to get that cleared up. I didn't want to have to deal with that by the time I started making content again. So with that out the way, let's get talking about the car. At night, very similar to the daytime. It's actually very visible in here. The stuff that you can see, the moon is beautiful, by the way. But the stuff that you can see, everything is very visible, very bright. Like I, you know, stated at the beginning of the video, and I've stated it a dozen over times in all the videos I made about this car, you don't get much. You don't get much fancy pants stuff in here, but that's all right by me. When I was looking for my daily, you know, I wasn't particularly looking for a computer on wheels. I'd rather have a good, reliable car than a computer on wheels. So I'm actually okay with all the interior features the way they are. Funny story, this is actually my second time recording this video. I might not. I'll see how I feel when I get down to the editing. But I actually recorded this same video, a night POV drive of my 2015 Scion TC, about a month ago. I believe it was 2 days. Don't quote me on it. I still have to check my timestamps on the video, but I believe it was 2 days prior to me getting involved in the accident. Well, me getting into an accident. So, and it was pouring rain. It was terrible. And when I, replayed the audio, I found myself shouting a lot of the times because it was really, really hard for you guys to hear me over the road noise and over all the rain and stuff. And there were a lot of cars on the road for some reason. And that's that. Another interesting thing that happened. So I haven't shown you guys this yet. I will tomorrow. Today is the 27th. So today is January 27th. That's the time I'm recording this video. So tomorrow, Sunday the 28th, this video will go live, as well as a short. I plan on uploading 2 of them, but I know one of them is gonna be about the wheel. So I don't know if you guys were following the weather and all the stuff that was going on, but there was a massive freeze that went over pretty much the entire United States. For those of you guys that live in the United States, unless you're like really deep into Florida, you've experienced it. And Texas, we're not really geared to handle extreme cold like that. The temperatures went down to like 15 degrees here in Houston, Texas. So I had to go to work this one morning, and it was a Wednesday. And me being me, I didn't do the proper procedure to like get all the ice off the windshield. Like I didn't scrape the ice off, I didn't scrub it, I didn't use a wet towel. I didn't. And as you guys might know, my thingy down here that directs the airflow is broken. So the air in my car comes out everywhere. Like if I were to turn it on right now, it comes out to my feet, it comes out to my face, it comes out everywhere, including the side windows, but not the windshield. So my heater wasn't defrosting my windshield. So the only thing I had was a little piece of circle like this that I had to go look. So I basically was like slouched like this the whole time, looking through a little to a little patch. Thankfully I don't work that far away from my house. It's like a 10-minute drive, and at the time that I go to work at 5 6 a.m, there's no cars on the road. So that's all I could see. And this front driver's side wheel, my first time, I drive commercial vehicles for work. I've never curved any of them. I've never curved any vehicles in the many years that I've been driving in my life. For the first time in my life, I curved one of my vehicles, and it's my favorite vehicle that I've owned, and I completely destroyed that wheel. I'll show you guys the curve rash on it, but it was terrible. So I have forgotten that my airflow thingy doesn't work, so my car blows air everywhere except where I needed it, which was the windshield. But I gotta tell you, man, people call me crazy. I have plenty of people tell me that I should switch cars. I know I make enough to afford a way more expensive, way faster, by today's standards. I just genuinely don't want to. People call me crazy. I love this car. I mean, for what I was looking for, it genuinely took off that urgent need of having a project car. Because even though I haven't done much to this car, so one thing I do need to do is change the brakes. I don't know if you guys can hear them squealing, but even though I haven't done much to this car, it's so nice, at least for me. Like, I like so much about this car, the looks and everything it offers, the reliability, the size. As somebody who's 6'1", 240, I love the size. I love how well I fit in here, and it's done me so well. But I didn't want to mention this, but I am currently on the market for a project / weekend car. Now that will be a separate video because I don't want to spill all the beans, and then I'm planning on making that video a bit longer than this one because I do want to go into in-depth of the cars I'm considering. There's one major candidate, and that's really the one I'm more inclined towards. But that's all I'm gonna say. I am considering getting into a project / weekend car, but that's it. That's all I'm gonna say on that topic. But yeah, man, I have plenty of people tell me that, you know, oh man, it's time to switch to TC. Like, nah, not really. I mean, it's definitely time to switch the brakes on my TC, but not the car. I mean, there's nothing I don't like about this. And I've been thinking the one downside to this car is that it's extremely slow. It's dirt slow. But if I ever want to make it reasonably quick, this car weighs 3,000 pounds. This car uses the same motor mounts as a V6 Camry. So in theory, it should be a basically plug and play with a V6 from the Camry. Now, I've never heard anybody do a V6 swap on a TC, but that's something that has been roaming my mind. Now, I don't plan on doing that anytime soon, and to be fair, I don't know if I'm ever going to do it, but it's something that's been roaming my head because the project car, I'm not gonna say that, but sorry guys, I don't mean to snake you, but I can't say anything about it. So at the same time, the reason I'm holding back on the thought is because the TC was never made to be fast, and I kind of knew that going into the car. So this road is really bumpy. I have some stuff rattling around inside the door panel. Something broke off because I had a little kid slam the crap out of my passenger side door, and like a little piece of plastic broke off and it's inside the door, and I have to get that thing open and check it out because it's terrible. But the TC was never made to be fast, and I knew that going into the TC. I knew when I bought it almost 2 years ago that it wasn't gonna be fast. So that I was so okay with that thought because I was so in love with everything else that it offers. I love the looks. I mean, coming from an FRS, my Subaru, because it basically is a Subaru, my Subaru engine was knocking. I mean, the valves were ticking like crazy, and you know, so I decided to get rid of it. I bought this car with 90,000 miles almost 2 years ago, like a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, and it's at 118,000 miles. I find myself shocked by how often I push this car harder than I should be, given the fact that it's just my daily. But I'm also shocked at the fact that I turn it off, and next morning when I turn it back on, no issues. There's no weirdness with the engine. There's no, you know, doesn't make weird vibrations. It doesn't, you know, engine runs as smooth as it ever has. So I'm really invested into this car. Like, I'm sold. Like, this car got me sold, bought, however you want to refer to it. I don't know. And especially in today's market, where everything is so hard to come by and everything is getting marked up like crazy, and things have calmed down a little bit, but still, like, you know, you got Civic SIs going for, the new ones are going for like $30,000, which 33 give or take, which, don't get me wrong, a Civic SI will always be a great option. And that you are paying $30,000 for a new car that is excellent at fuel economy. It is extremely reliable, and it's fun to drive. So I understand why people go for it, but me, myself, personally, I don't see myself giving up that much money for, that's why I haven't upgraded as a daily. Like, when I really think about the financial benefit of it, I don't see it. I don't see the performance benefit on it, because the only thing I'll get with a newer car is just a more modern interior. And to be fair, I don't really give a crap about it. I don't really give a crap about, the one thing I care about is having Apple CarPlay. I'm gonna switch the radio on this car. That's all. That's really all I care about. I don't care about having the fancy layout in the interior. I don't know, it doesn't really, you know, that's not really my cup of tea. So, you know, the new BRZ, new BRC doesn't look much different inside from the outside from the old generation, but I don't know. I'm not sold on the interior. And this new Civic Si interior is actually fire. I've been inside the Civic Si 11th gen. I've gotten to drive it. The tactility of the climate control, they're so awesome. The new GTI, Jesus, that infotainment is terrible. It looks really cool, but it's terrible. So I don't know. I love the simplicity of this. So that's really the only reason I see myself trading, because if I go into a Civic Si, yeah, it's faster than this, like 11th gen or 10th gen. Yeah, they're both faster than this, but they're not miles faster than this car. They're not like worlds ahead of this car. You know, they're noticeably quicker, but they're not miles. So I'm not really looking to get into that for a car that's like slightly faster. So that's why, you know, when people tell me, oh, you should switch to daily, I ask myself the question, why? Like, why do the other ones have that this one doesn't? This one has reliability, has fuel economy, has something I desperately need with my size in a car this small. It has great room. So unless it's the interior, I don't really, I mean, you can get into one of these, a great example of one of these for like $6,000-$7,000 in the used market today. I mean, they're all pretty much used, but you can get into one of these for $6,000-$7,000. I don't see the benefit of, you know, going into a brand new car just for like a daily driver. That's not really for me. Okay, this is gonna be weird because I gotta make a right here. Okay, sorry, I had to focus there. People were cramped up. But anyways, yeah, those are my thoughts on this car. I know this was supposed to be like a night POV, and it was. I mean, you guys got to see the car, but once again, I don't have, oh, sorry, man, sorry, I was lucky, man. But yeah, like I said, there's not much to talk about with this car. You don't get much in features. I mean, you guys are seeing pretty much everything there is to know about this car. I've gone over the features in this car when I've done reviews on it. There's nothing. You get your gauge cluster, you get this little button right here that just displays different information, like, you know, your MPGs and stuff. It's all visible. It's this orange color, which I don't like necessarily, but I'm also not against it. Like I said, when I bought this car, I knew what I was gonna get, but I also knew how much I was paying. And, you know, not a deal breaker for me. But anyways, that has been all for this night POV drive. I know I didn't really talk about much, but there's not much to talk about. I mean, I said I did an all LED swap on this car, as you guys can probably tell, and the visibility is great. I can see great with those, you know, with these headlights, these LED headlights. I did the same thing inside, all LED swap inside. But this car doesn't have much features or much to talk about. It's pretty simple. So it is gorgeous though. I gotta say, look, I have a monster truck ride on this car. You guys can see that from a mile away, and there's certain angles on this car that just looks beautiful. That's why I'm having such a hard time wrapping my head around even parting with this car. Like, I generally want to keep it forever. I can't speak for the future because I don't know what the future holds. None of us do. But if it's up to me, I'm genuinely keeping this car forever. I'm in love with everything this car offers, especially for me. But yeah, with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I am so happy to be back. I am so happy to be making content again. I have so much coming. Like I stated in this video, earlier in this video, the new wheels are coming. It says 3 weeks, might get delayed a little more. So, you know, realistically speaking, I'll give them a month and a half. By like, I want to say mid-March. Early March, mid-March, the wheels should be here. Same thing with new suspension. The suspension should get here a lot quicker than the wheels. With all that said, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy this video, just let me know in the comment section down below. Once again, I'm so happy to be back. Thank you guys so much. You just watched a J-less POV video. Have a great day.